The next award is a fun one for me as well. I get to actually present this one, so I'm excited about it. We gathered tonight to really celebrate a journey of a true champion. He's a friend, a warrior on the ice. It's my distinct honor to be able to bring up tonight J.R. Celski and induct him in the U.S. Speedskating Hall of Fame. From the first time our paths crossed, it was 20 years ago. It doesn't feel like it, but it was. I knew there was something special about him. There was no question that J.R.'s family and J.R. was dedicated to the sport at the age of 14 when he moved from Washington down to California to chase his dream. And Chris, David, Bob, Sue, you guys made it happen. You made a great, great kid and a great decision to be able to push him in that direction. I was fortunate. I came back home during this time frame and I watched JR train day in, day out towards the 2010 Olympics between ice sessions, beach trainings. Yes, we do beach trainings in LA. Sand dune runs, bike rides. JR's work ethic was unmatched. It was so much fun to watch. Some of you may remember that JR suffered one of the most horrific injuries any of us have ever seen in speed skating. It was scary, but we all know that sports are filled with ups and downs, they're filled with injuries, but staring down the eyes of adversity, JR was a true warrior, and he didn't give up. That's when I know we all learned one special thing, that he had the mind and the heart of a champion. JR revolutionized the sport. He introduced, in my opinion, a new technique that propelled him to secure a world record in the 500, breaking what many thought was an impossible barrier of 40 seconds. And keep in mind, not a lot of people still do it today. He came back with a number of world medals, multiple 3 Olympic medals, and that solidified JR to be one of the best U.S. short track speed skaters of all time. Beyond his athletic prowess, JR left a lasting impression on all of us. He brought intangible qualities to the ice, a spirit of camaraderie, sportsmanship that ignited inspiration to all that encountered him. He wasn't solely a competitor. He was a friend and an ambassador and a source of inspiration in a world frequently overshadowed by rivalry. As JR navigated the highs and lows of the Olympic journey, the triumphs and defeats, and everything in between, he remained a friend to all those that were around him, lifting others up, and it's because of his calm demeanor that he always has. It brought out the best in his teammates, and he has multiple Olympic medals with those teammates, and I know those really mean a lot to him. JR, your induction to the Hall of Fame is a testament to your extraordinary talent, your entire family's unparalleled dedication, and above all, your enduring spirit. May your legacy continue to inspire future generations of athletes, reach for the stars, have them believe in the power of goals, dreams, and hard work. JR, my friend, congratulations. Welcome to the Hall of Fame. Instagram, sorry.
JR, we got a video.
Thank you, guys. I guess all those years of wearing spandex has finally paid off. It only felt right to start with the dad jokes. Rusty, thank you for that intro. Rusty really was one of the first person to kind of take me under his wings, show me the ropes of short track. I think he felt that obligation with myself coming and skating out of Southern California. If anybody knows Rusty, Rusty's not afraid to tell you how it is. I was trying to think of people to compare him to in the sports world, and I thought about John McEnroe, and I mean that with the utmost respect, because for myself and my peers coming into the sport of short track, he held that path in high regard for us. He kind of taught us that it had to be a certain way. We had to follow a path and respect the people that came before us, and I really appreciated that out of you. Rusty dropped knowledge on me that I wasn't really getting from anywhere else, so thank you for that. From one West Coast kid to another, I appreciate you. When I got the news that I was going to be inducted, it hit me harder than I thought it would, mostly because I knew I got the opportunity to thank everybody that had my back and really kind of elevated me to the point that I'm at today. So first of all, I want to thank you, Speedskating, for this honor. Thank you for the evening. I enjoy coming to these banquets every year. So thank you for hosting tonight. Ted, all the staff, Mark, the board, kind of everybody that has volunteered and contributed to the sport over the years. Bush's story is an example that it takes a village for this sport to continue to succeed in this nation. So thank you to all the volunteers, officials, block chasers, lap counters, heat box stewards, medical staff, really everybody that's behind the scene. I only named 5% of the people that are involved in keeping the sport alive. So thank you for that. Your contributions do not go unnoticed. And also congratulations to everybody that received awards tonight. Jordan, can we just induct him into the Hall of Fame right now? Is that okay? Kristen, it's been great to see you blossom into the skater that you've become. So keep it going. It's amazing to watch. Mom, Dad, Chris, David. It's rare that the five of us are in the same room nowadays, so thank you for being here. David flew in this morning from Florida. He leaves tonight. Chris came in from Washington, as well as my parents. So it doesn't seem that long ago that we were traveling around the country, going to Oaks Park, waking up at the crack of dawn and early for inline meets, and sitting in pace lines listening to Nirvana and AC/DC blast through the speakers. I cherish those moments big time, and it means a lot that you guys are here. Mom and Dad, thank you for being not only great parents, but role models. Who instilled the idea that having goals, working hard towards them, and being compassionate towards others can really bring you everything you need in life. Thank you for letting me chase my dreams as a 14-year-old kid. Mom, thank you for always being in my corner and instilling your work ethic in me. Dad, thank you for your guidance and for helping me find a way continually. Your influence goes deeper than you know, and I love you both very much. Chris, thank you for giving me the opportunity to chase my dreams in California. We lived together in a 2-bedroom apartment, and I was just starting high school, so Chris had to deal with me during my teenage rebellious years. The things that Chris knows about me that my mom and dad don't. At least I think they don't. It might be better to keep it that way. Thank you for being a great older brother and for always having my back. David, thank you for being a role model to me when I was growing up. Thank you for setting the example that it was okay to think and live outside of the box. Thank you for teaching me that I was okay to be my own person and to always challenge the status quo. It helped shape my own vision, my own views towards life, and it meant a lot. And also, thank you for serving this country. David is approaching 20 years in the military, in the Army, as an officer. So if you get a chance, thank you so much. My best friend Ray is here. I met Ray in 10th grade PE class. Not knowing who I was, he challenged me to a race during the track portion of the class. Needless to say, I dusted him. And we became best friends from that moment on. You need friends in your life that keep it real with you, because the higher you climb, the harder it is to find people that really want what's best for you. So thank you for being there for me. I want to thank the inline speed skating world. Sorry guys, I got a lot of people to thank, so I promise I'll make it worth it. The inline speed skating world, specifically Mike and Kay Pattison, they're responsible for one of the most successful inline speed skating teams in the nation, and the success of many of us who finally made our way over to the ice. Shout out to Casey Boudier, who was the first person to make the transition from wheels to blades, and inspired many of us, specifically in the Northwest, to follow in his path. Thanks to Apollo for inspiring me to want to do short track when I was 12 years old. Miguel Jose, Gary Gandy, former teammates who pushed me to be better, and continue to push the success of the sport in the inline world and in the Northwest. Tom Eilerton and the Illahee Middle School Strength and Conditioning Program. I learned how to push my limits as an athlete in that class, and I bench pressed more in 8th grade than I ever have at any other point in my life. I don't know if that's a good thing, but it seems like it. The Puget Sound Speed Skating Club, Jan Zurcher and Coach Lee, who were my first coaches on the ice. Coach Lee is continuing to pump out Olympians and people who are pushing the envelope. Corey Stoddard being one of them, so thank you to them and to him. The Southern California Speed Skating Association and Ice Club Demora, where I first really started training for the Olympics. I was 14. Shout out to the late Jerry Search, Sue Perlis, Rob and Lisa Alke, and really everybody who held that club together. A special shout out to Walter Rusk, a former teammate of mine who very well could have saved my life 15 years ago. When I got cut, his selfless act, I'm forever indebted to that. The Utah Olympic Oval, thank you for them for hosting us at their world-class facilities all these years. Make the fastest ice in the world, and I don't know how many, this is 95% of the records in the world, something like that. It's like all of the records are broken here, so yeah, and then I'd also like to thank a few former teammates, coaches, and supporters that have had my back throughout the years, a few who are presently in the room tonight. Alex Izakowski. I lived with Izzy when I first moved to Salt Lake in 2008, and he had a strict rule that you had to be Polish to live with him. But in all seriousness, he did host like 3 or 4 of us with ski on the end of their last name. So thank you for continuing to be great friends. Eddie Alvarez, one of my oldest friends and competitors. We started racing each other in 1996, and we've been continuing to push each other ever since. Travis Janer, Jordan Malone, Ryan Bedford, who texted me right before this that he couldn't make it, so I was like, I'm gonna cut you out of the speech. He's like, you better not, because I'm gonna get videotaped and I'm gonna see it. So, but no, Ryan was awesome. Sad to see him leave. He was a great contributor to the board, and I know everybody loves him. We won my first gold at a World Championships together back in 2009, so that was really special. Kyle Carr, Jeff Simon, Anthony Barthel, Dr. Bill Moreau, Jenna Street, and the rest of the Colorado Springs OTC back in 2009, who really helped me get back to my feet, or on my feet, after I got cut. Dr. Hayden, where are you at? He said, thank you for helping me navigate that same injury back in 2009. It was special working with somebody of your caliber, and being able to feed off your energy was really, really great. Steve Goff, who I wished coached me for longer than the time I got with him. You see what a couple of years of consistency can do for a program, and this man has the magic touch. So, and I had to save the best for last. My wife, Andrea, is sitting right there. Our child is sleeping somewhere in the closet, I think, back in the back. Thank you for being my rock, my compass. I'm gonna get corny here for a second. And my crutch in times of need. We've come a long way, and you continue to lead and set the best example not only for Damien but for myself as well. Thank you for supporting me when times get difficult, because they have, and you're really the main reason why I continue to roll out of bed every morning and push myself in all aspects of my life. So I love you very much, and thank you. I'll be honest, I think a lot of us feel this way, but I was lost for a moment after I put the skates away for the last time. I was caught up in a way of thinking that the results and performances were what defined me as a human being, and it stopped at that. But I've since learned that life is not supposed to happen exactly how we envision it. If it did, the predictability would really drive us crazy. Change is uncomfortable, but it's necessary for growth and development. The challenges and uncertainty that I faced taught me to be vulnerable and to be more accepting of the situations that were going to help me grow as a person. Those tough moments have taught me more about myself than any single result, medal, or achievement ever could. I've since found peace knowing that I can inspire people to believe in themselves when times get hard, and to accept that change is a natural part of growing and getting better. We are not defined by our titles or accolades, but by the impressions we leave on others. Skating has taught me a lot. It's taught me to be patient. It's taught me that good things take time to come together, and that things aren't always going to turn out how they thought they would be. Case in point, the best competition I ever skated was my first World Championships. I was just 18 years old, and I placed second overall in the standings. Second in the overall standings. This was the season before the 2010 games, and things were looking good, and I was kind of thinking that I was going to continue along that trajectory. But then things got hard. I suffered an injury 5 months before the Olympics that most would have considered ending their careers over. But I was determined to not let that be the end. I was determined to turn things around. I always wondered what would have happened if I didn't cut my leg, but I'll never know, and maybe that's a good thing. And I will say I wouldn't trade what I went through for anything else, because that path that I took made me who I am, and I'm proud of the outlook I have towards life today. Regardless of that accident, I went on to win 3 Olympic medals, and was the first person to go under 40 in 500. And fun fact, that was my first 500 at a World Cup. My story is a testament that opportunities can be found in the places we least expect, so keep an open mind and don't ever count yourself out. I'd like to leave you with one last story. It was one of my earliest memories in the sport of short track. I was at a summer camp in New Brunswick in 2003, and I swear there was like 75 of us, 75 kids, because everybody skates in Canada, right? So there was like 75 kids, and for those of you who skate, you know that the more people that are on the ice, the more dirt gets on the ice, and the more opportunity that you have to strip your blade. So during one of the first ice sessions, I get out there, and of course I strip my blade right in the money spot, like right under the front cup, and I go out and try to skate, and I fall a couple times, and one of the coaches comes up to me, and he's like, "You should get off the ice and sharpen your skates so you don't fall again." And I'm like, good idea. So I get off the ice, I go up to my room, I grab my jig and my stones, and the kicker is I've never sharpened my skates before. So I do what I think is logical, and I take the blade that has a strip in it, and I put it in the jig, and I tighten it, and I pick the stone up, and I start sharpening that one blade. Why divert 2 blades when you can just do one? One of the last notes I left in my retirement letter back in 2018 was something to the effect of, to the next generation of skaters, keep it fun and light, work harder than you thought you could. And there was one more thing I added, and that was to learn how to sharpen your own damn blades. Because I did. I had to learn, and if I know one thing about life is about learning. And on that note, please excuse me because I have a lot more of that to do. Thank you.